Well, hello, everybody. Smithy, and welcome to something completely different. Yes, we're going to go through the new reveal trailer of Outbound, a cozy camper van survival game by Square Glade Games. I've been lucky enough to get hold of this just before it went live, same time as IGN. And so we're going to have a look at the trailer. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, so a big shout out to Tobi for sending this across to me. And Marc is the other developer within Square Glade Games. But this game is all about building your own home on wheels and living sustainably off grid. Me being a bit of a prepper at home, this really appeals to me. Crafting workstations, power supply, source energy from the sun, wind and water, upgrade and customize your vehicle, grow crops, automate your production and explore a colourful world. So I've been following them for a while already. They have released some pictures, etc. And we will look at the pictures after the trailer. Yeah, this game is set in a utopian near future. So without further ado, let's have a look at the trailer. I'm really excited about this, to say the least. Okay, in the office. Error 42. Do like the artwork, I must admit. Out in the wilds. Crafting, foraging, crafting, making, building. As the machine said. How do you build? Oh, building on top. Oh, you take your stuff with you. Uh-huh. Oh my word. Right, can you drive out from underneath it? Oh, lots of questions. Wow. So here we are in the office. Interesting, this calendar over here on the left. Seen this before, but it's just a normal office environment with chit-chatter in the background. So it must be like normal time, modern time, but it's very unhappy with the job. And then we switch to a house. Oh, right. Okay, let's just go back there a minute. So, so this person is already, while the garage opens, this person's already a bit of a prepper, kitting out their van, because you can see, I think these are water canisters on the left-hand side here. So this person's already thought about this, pickaxe and stuff like that, and boxes on the right. There's some sort of weird machine on the right as well, like a scanner or something. So it's quite interesting. You get to look at, and there's gas bottles or some more water. No, these must be water bottles again. So it's quite interesting to see that this person's already thinking about prepping and going out into the wilds and had enough of their job. Also, there's some interesting, there's a thing above the garage door as well there, which we, like a fan, which we see on top of the van later, which is really interesting to say the least. And then we're out in the wilds. So I really like this. I never used to like this style, but now in 2024, we're getting a really good crossover between real-time everyday graphics and this cartoon style. I think the balance is, I like it when it's more reality cartoon rather than more cartoony, if I can get that what I mean. But look at that. Oh, I want to go back to just see that a little bit. So out in the wild somewhere, you can see there's no indication that even though it's in a future, utopian near future, there's no indication that the world is falling apart or this person is forced to go out in the wilds. I think this person's choosing to go out to look after themselves. And you start with an empty camper van, which is quite funny because if you were going out, you got stuff in your garage, so you would actually take stuff into the world. So whether or not we'll get some things taken with you, because if you were planning this, you would go, whereas if it was an emergency, you wouldn't be planning it. So it's quite interesting, the premise here. So we got roads and tracks, and I've seen quite a few of these. So I take it that it's very much an off-road, out in the wilds of the West. But it's very beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And, oh, I noticed this. Here we go. So when the door opened, the camper van has got like what we call back to basics. It's an old camper van. Is it a 60s one? It's not a split screen one, is it? It's like a 60s or 70s. I couldn't see. I remember coming back to this now when it came out the garage. It's it's a proper old one. It's a proper old one. So yeah, really interesting stuff. It's really like it has got a cozy feel to it. So coming back to the door, it's like a home renovated, quite a bit Heath Robinson I call it, but it is a basic camper van with just like, it's almost like hardboard panel in there. So you can see here, it's like the real world. If you go out into we got it in the UK as well as the States, you will see trees dying and you'll see trees alive because we don't cut them down anymore. But it's more common than it used to be when I was young. And we're by the sea as well. So we've got the ocean. So is it going to be West Coast or East Coast? Do we think it's going to be? Do we think it's going to be West Coast? The weather may say it's West Coast. So you start by cutting down wood. So you got to go foraging. Yeah, there's the foraging. Right. So again, the van is really, really basic, all panelled out. It's almost like a runner, which has been done up just for basic, but there is some stuff on the right. And the door, these doors are not the usual type of doors like this. So you can see, is that a 3D printer? Is that what that's supposed to be? I'm not so sure whether that is a 3D printer or some sort of printer that builds stuff. There's also, what's that at the back? Like not a template or anything. There's, look, got the bottles underneath that were in the garage there. And you can see here that you can place objects on a squared system. There's also some stuff on the right there. Not sure what that is. So you can probably organize it which way you want to. And then we get machines and we get cutlery and we get different sort of things. So they must come from somewhere. And yes, this is the color rendition. There's a number of colors which have been previously broadcast. We'll have a look at those at the end. I've got some different colors which come out. Can we see the colors? It went so fast. Yellow. I think there's blue, orange. Oh, you only get to see a couple there. That didn't go very fast for me. Too fast. Blue skies. Right, so this is interesting. So you can see now we've got solar panels on the roof. We've got wind turbines. And now we've got a rail system on the van that never existed previously. And then, wow, what are they? Are they like different types of machines again? And now the door shuts. Interact with the van. Right, let's just go back to that. By the lake. So there's plants growing on the top as well as the machines. Just trying to see if I could see what the machines were. And then the roads again, like we saw last time. And now they set up here by a water source. But what's interesting is they're building like platforms on top, then windows, and then it gives the impression here that first of all it's built on top of the van, but then you've got legs and things hanging. So my question really is, can you drive the van out from underneath? So you start like this. Whoa, there's hydroponics there as well. And yes, look at that. Wow. Superb. Wow, that is amazing. So you've got your own greenhouse. Now, didn't see a step area, but there was a chair There was a chair there, which is interesting. There's also that comes out from underneath the van through the roof, does it? There's like a stairwell there and a chair on the top. So I wonder whether the van will actually move and you're able to drive the van out. I think you would have to, otherwise you'd be walking everywhere. Really interesting concept. Wow. So there you go. I'm going to have a look at some pictures now, but that's the trailer. Very impressive. It's sort of has given us a lot of questions as well, how the game will work and everything. But you can see the solar panels on there and everything. Again, stuff growing and fruiting. It's a wish list. There's a Discord server, which I've been following for a while. Link in the description. And all the links are in the description from them. And there's a Kickstarter, which is starting very soon. So now we're going to have a look at some of the pictures that I've been given as well. Right, so let's start with the first pictures then, and we're going to start with that's the overarching reveal trailer picture with the stuff on top we saw. But first of all, let's have a look at the camper van. So yeah, it's definitely late 60s. With the split screen, you're talking 60s. If you didn't have a split screen, well, even that in the 70s. They were produced in, I know, in South America for a long time after they were produced in the UK and America. So you never know what age this is or where it's from. So these pictures were freely available on social media. We got the old cream. There's the orange one. We got a yellow one. And we got the beautiful bluey green one. So I'm not sure how these come out. These are internal shots. Whether they come out on the video or not, we'll see. Apologies if they don't come out that well, but that's what we've seen before. Some of the landscapes are gorgeous. These pictures were supplied with the pack, and this is the one I'm interested in. The fact we saw this earlier on the video, but I really hope that we can drive the van. Once you've set it all up to drive the van out, it does say that the idea is you go out and forage and collect more stuff, and then you make different parts to your camp. So I'm really hoping that we'll be able to do that and just get bigger and bigger. At some point, it would be really good if you could build some sort of house or something. That would be really cool. So it's a really interesting concept. I'm really interested in seeing how this now develops. A big shout out to Square Glade Games and Tobi and Marc for allowing me to have access to some extra stuff to make this video. And yeah, brilliant. I'm going to be following them on the Discord, and obviously when the Kickstarter starts as well, to support them. And yeah, if you're still here, guys, go on, press that like button for me. It really helps. And we will be doing more Outbound stuff here on the channel and also on Twitter as well. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.